Hello, everyone, and welcome to the final session of today's Bookkeepers Growth Summit. A hearty thank you if you've started from the start and joined me for all 5 hours today. I appreciate your time so much. Today's session, we're up to the fifth stage of the Leads to Loyalty framework on screen here. So we've gone through planning, attracting, engaging, and converting clients. We just had a session with Ignition about onboarding and scope creep and all that stuff. If you missed any of that, don't worry, we've got recordings and resources which will be coming out, and the same for the upcoming session as well, which is going to be about retention and keeping happy and loyal clients and engaging with them. So we've got Katrina Aarsman on board today, CEO of Pure Bookkeeping, joining us. So thanks a lot for joining us, Katrina.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And yeah.
No worries. Katrina is the author of Grow, Profit, Exit, mother of 2 and mentor. And before Pure Bookkeeping, sorry if I can speak today, Katrina built a multi-staffed bookkeeping business that she sold in 2015 as well. So since then, she's been guiding, supporting, and helping bookkeepers grow and build their business. I'm sure she's a familiar name to quite a few of you as well. So we're really excited to have her on board, and I'll quickly run through what Katrina is going to be talking about today. It's about establishing lasting relationships with clients. We'll be sharing what you should do to, building trust, setting expectations, and what you need to do in the first 100 days of having new clients on board as well. So, like I alluded to, we'll be sending resources. We also do have a chat panel, so please feel free to send through any questions that you might have as we go. We will have some dedicated time at the end of this to chat away, and there's no further session, so we can dive deep into that if you happen to have any questions. And I just wanted to really quickly mention as well the BizInk's marketing scorecard. So I really encourage you to take this. I think it's unbiased, but a really useful assessment of where you're currently at with your marketing. And it is based on the same framework we're talking through: plan, attract, engage, convert, and retain. So it assesses all of that, gives you feedback and useful resources as well. So we've got a link to that. But without further ado, I will stop sharing my screen and Katrina can share hers, and feel free just to use the chat to say hello while Katrina gets set up. It's cool to hear where you're all joining in from and how you've been finding the summit today. But over to you, Katrina. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. I am, love to hear. I'm just going to open up that Zoom chat again. Make sure I've got access to that, but I'm sure Diane will help me out if there's any chat going on. That would be awesome. So today we're going to talk about how to establish lasting relationship with new clients. And it's really important to, get starting a brand new relationship on the right foot. So let's have a look into what we're going to talk about. Anthea has already mentioned who I am, the CEO of Pure Bookkeeping, and a bit about my history. So we might just jump into where we're going. So today we're going to run through how we can essentially get your clients to do what you want them to do by positioning the relationship in the right way. So essentially today we're going to shine a light on what you're currently doing. So, and I'd love for you to participate during this webinar as well. So please use the chat. And what I would like to know is a bit about the relationships that you have with your clients at the moment. So what is contributing to building great relationships? So what do you see that you contribute to having a good relationship with your client, whether it is it's just the conversation, the connection, the service you provide? What is it that's contributing to such a great relationship? And you may even have some examples of where you're not having some good relationships. So we'll look at those as well. But sometimes they're overwhelming. They take a lot from us. They ask a lot of us. What are you experiencing? If anybody would love to share. Stephen, thank you. We've got expertise and personality. Yeah, I love that bit about personality. I know for my bookkeeping business, I often found myself just getting into the facts and figures and, what do they need? Here's what you need, and not bringing that personality in. It actually took me a long time to experience that they love to get to know you, and for you to get to know them as well. So I really love that we've brought up personality from the get-go, and humor. Love it. Yeah, just having that relationship, that connection. And it also, you know, we talk about that trusted advisor, so they start to trust you as well. I love it. Friendly. Leanne, talk to them from the get-go, very clear what my expectations, what I expect, set clear boundaries, hours of work. Fantastic. That's all great stuff. Thank you for sharing all of that. So also, we're in the reverse. We want to reflect on those relationships that challenge you. So whether you've got any challenges, for those that haven't mentioned, maybe you do have some challenges with the relationships that you do have. And yeah, feel free to share those as well as we go through. So one of the things I feel is that when we're building a new relationship, and we've touched on this around expectations, is aligning the clients that you're bringing on to make sure that they are your A-grade clients. So has anybody not heard what an A-grade client is? Just pop it into the chat, or if you do know, what's a few words for you that talks to what an A-grade client is? So we're going to look at some of the frustrations that we do feel around those relationships, and consider and reflect on that. Like what makes those relationships work or don't work? What makes them what we want to be is the A-grade client. So for me, an A-grade client is one of those clients that do appreciate you and respect you and trust you, and even refer more clients or more contacts to you. So they're the A-grade clients, and we want to move towards only attracting A-grade. Yeah, John, we'll communicate, pay fees promptly. Exactly. So they're the type of clients that have that criteria, and even going that one step further, that they feel good enough about you that they will refer you on to other people as well. A clients values what we do, appreciates us, assists us to help them achieve. I love it. That's a really good combination. Thank you. So what we're going to look at is breaking down what's happening in your business. So to get to a better place of identifying that ideal client, so that we can, have that connection and keep and retain those clients. So one of the things that we currently could be doing wrong in attracting the wrong clients, in keeping the wrong clients, and engaging with them, and keeping them in our tribe, if that, for those clients that we are over servicing. So we didn't scope them properly. We'll often say, yeah, we can do your books, but we don't really know what's involved. So we haven't scoped them out. We don't know what the state of the books are. So we just bring them on anyway because we can do them. But these are clients that we feel as though we're going to be letting them down because those expectations weren't clear from the start. We want to over provide. So because the expectations weren't right, we're disappointing them, we're going to overcompensate for those feelings of inadequacy and miscommunication. So we're going to give more and more and more just to make them feel happy. And for those clients that want business advice and they need more support and more nurturing, but again, we haven't scoped them properly. So we're over servicing them because we haven't brought them into the right package. So we want to start a relationship expecting to get what we want and when we want it. But not all clients are the same. So we need to know what we need, what they need to provide to us, so that it's really clear up front. We could also have those clients that are taking advantage of us. So those that just keep asking for more. So they keep asking for more service. They want this, they want that, they want the information, and they demand out of hours, as somebody said, to the expectations around the hours of when to best contact them. But we do have clients that are, are outside of the boundaries that we really want to keep. They demand attention straight away. So their emails are really quick. Or they say they really have a quick question, and it's just constant and demanding, and they want it now. And also those clients that don't pay us. So, you know, surprise, surprise, that they're not getting the service that they're demanding, that they're wanting, because we've scoped it incorrectly, and now they're not paying as well. Leanne says, I've got a consulting engineer who always phones with a quick question. Yes, yes. And we will get to, you know, how we can deal with those type of clients in the solutions. The third one that bookkeepers could feel with their clients is they actually just feel like an employee. I don't know if any of you have got any clients like that, but we've talked about not being respected. So the clients just want us to jump when they ask. They don't respect our ability, or they don't want to keep you in the loop of the information. So they'll only give you information as they feel that you need to be given it. They're quite guarded, and they want to keep it close to their chest, and that means that the trust is not being built. So they expect you to drop everything for them and don't acknowledge that you are busy and that you've got other clients with other demands as well. So out of those three options, which one of these sort of suits you the best? Is it the over-servicing your clients? Is it clients taking advantage of you? Or is it you feeling like an employee? So 1, 2, or 3. Yeah, Stephen's 1. Now, John had mentioned we have a few engineer clients with quick questions, won't respond promptly to data requests. Yes, so they don't do quick the other way. It's common. They've got quick questions because it won't take. They don't want a long answer. They don't want to pay for a long answer. They just want it quite quickly. Okay, so mainly 1. All right, so that is the over-servicing clients is where you're up to. Yeah, okay. It's good to understand where exactly you are. All right, so what happens when we get this right? So we want to have clear expectations up front. So it's important for us to be really clear when we are scoping work and being really clear in, you know, what we're going to be providing them, and understanding what their file is like and what the work is that needs to be done. So I'm just going to jump into the pure bookkeeping content at the moment and have a look down at when we're converting prospects to clients. There's a whole conversation around scoping the work. So it's really important to be really clear on what it is you want. So we're going to, you know, explain around, you know, what the work is. We could actually even do like a health check. You know, often we will, you know, do health checks. We'll do even diagnostic reviews. So one of the things in pure bookkeeping, our licensees, that we've actually got a template around how to do a diagnostic review. And it actually helps us really determine what the work is that is inside the file, what's going to need to be happening. So it just gives us a really clear understanding on what the pricing is going to be. It also understands what the value of your knowledge and your skills of what you're going to be able to provide them, what's in scope, what's out of scope, what can be added extra. So let's do the basics now, and then let's move towards fixing these other things in there as well. So it's knowing that there could be a whole mess there, but we're only going to concentrate on this section of it at the moment. Here are our expectations, here are our outcomes, but we can go further when required, so that they don't expect the whole package straight away, that we could be, you know, just eliminating part of it so that, you know, here is the price and here are the expectations on that. So we're just wanting to be really clear on that. Then let me just jump back into my slides, sorry. Okay, so around here is got my wording on there. So clear clients appreciating and paying you. So you can't do your best work for every single prospect. And often they are just not on the same page as you, and they actually have different priorities for what you're wanting to do as well. So it's really important to, as we talked about, getting your ideal client. And we've got some content inside of Pure Bookkeeping around finding your ideal client as well. And just making sure that they are what you expect them to be in terms of that they match with your values of your business, that they align with the services that you want to provide. So just asking, very simple questions around, who they are, what they are, the service they require, those type of things, and making sure that you are able to provide that information there as well. And the next one is, rather than being that employee, we're going to be talking about being that trusted advisor. So part of the team. So again, you want to find those clients that are going to, that you're going to be able to have that connection with, that they're going to bring you into their fold, that you're going to be able to help with them. And like as one of our attendees today said, that to help them achieve their results. So someone that they're going to listen to you and take on your suggestions and take on the value that you are able to provide. And something like a diagnostic review will allow you to determine how further you can assist them as well. Does anyone on the call today actually do like a health check or a diagnostic review to be able to have a look inside the file and see what it is that they're exactly needing? And where their file is up to? Often we get a file and it's like it's a total mess, and we don't realize until we've got ourselves into it. Are other people on the call? Leanne, I do refuse before I start, really helps with the scope. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you for that. Fabian, always request this. Yeah. And do you actually get paid for this review as well? Is that something that you have considered? Okay, so yeah, John's offered health checks for over 20 years. No one wants it. So it could be the way that you could also introduce the health check to your clients as well. And I know inside of Pure Bookkeeping with the diagnostic health check, we've actually got some scripts. And here's an example. So you've got a clear understanding of the scope of work. So it's the way that you might present that information to your clients to be able to provide that health check. And also that we do recommend that you actually ask for payment. So when we're doing the diagnostic review, it's going to result in a report for them. So we've got a template that actually goes through the questions and creates a report for them. So it is important that they have the full picture of what their figures are up to. And you can have different packages around this diagnostic review as well. But it allows them to really identify where their file is up to, where the mistakes are, what needs to be researched, what could be worked on, what could be more efficient. We're very good at identifying systems inside of our clients. So, it just gives you those conversation pieces. So the report that you give can be either dealt with, your bookkeeping business can actually do the results of that report. They can actually, fix all the fixes. Or if the client doesn't like your packaging, they don't, work well with you, if you've decided they're not your ideal client even, they can take that report away to another service provider. But at least you have been paid, $250, $500, whatever it is, to actually provide that diagnostic review. Let me have a look at some of the comments that you've got here. Often clients don't know what they need. Yeah, exactly. So that's again why it's a good idea to do a health check or a diagnostic review, because they don't know what's wrong with the files. I mean, they think it might be reconciled because their bookkeeper used to tell them they're reconciled all the time. But when you go in and have a look at the unreconciled transactions, things like that, they'll go, wow, I had no idea. Fabian generally doesn't get paid. Leanne sometimes paid. but not always if I have a bad feeling and don't want to further engage. Yeah, yeah, that's a good examples. Thank you for that. So what we can do about it. So sorry, which one would help you the most right now? Is it around feeling like a trusted advisor? Is it around clients appreciating you? Or is it around having clear expectations up front? Which one of those do you feel would be the most useful? 1, 2, or 3? Okay, so I've got a mixture. Awesome. Great, thanks for that feedback. All right, so let's look at the 5 things that we can do to make a difference. So the first one is around sharing your vision. Now, a lot of clients engage you to do the work, and that's as far as it goes. If we want to retain clients, if we want to only work with our ideal clients, then we want to share the vision of your business. What is the purpose of your business? So we want to build the trust right from the start. We want to move away from being treated like a service provider and move away from just performing tasks for them, and actually let them in to you and your business. And as I think it was Stephen that said earlier, around having a personality. So they get to know you, they get to know the vision of your business, the vision of where you're wanting to take your clients, the vision of where you're wanting to, build relationships. Let them into, your team, your business, all of those type of areas. So you're actually setting up an environment where they begin to trust you and your team and understand what you're all about. So it's in here where we are talking about customizing the prospect presentation. So this is where, and we have a template here where we're going to share with them your vision, your values, your team, your services. You could put in your packages in there. All of those things that are important to you, that's going to make a difference to how they're going to understand who you are and what you do. The next thing is around having those awkward conversations up front. So we do want to set expectations right from the get-go. So those, have a strategy for effective client communication. So there's nothing worse than getting, several months into the job and without, then realizing that they don't have money, they don't want to pay you, they don't appreciate what you've done, you're out of scope, you haven't told them. Now we've got to have difficult conversations. So it's best to have those difficult conversations right up the front and make sure that they understand exactly what your expectations are. And so we're clear on what's going to happen when payments are not made on time. We're clear on what's going to happen when their business grows and we get out of scope. We're going to be clear on what it looks like to work within your file and the information that you need and when you're going to need it. So you really want to make sure that everyone is happy in this relationship. Even how you are going to talk to and liaise with their accountant, transitioning from the old bookkeeper. All of those things need to be dealt with because they're the trickier conversations that we sign them up and then we go, okay, now who's your accountant? No, I'm not telling you, I don't want you to have a relationship with my accountant. Okay, so where is the past information that I need to get hold of? Oh, the bookkeeper won't provide it to us. So we need to have those conversations right from the start. It just makes it a whole lot easier to work our way through, retaining those clients. Because if we get 6 months down the track and there's things that are happening in the relationship, the connection with the client, and they're going, no, I don't want to stick around, I don't want to pay you, I'm going to fight my way out of this. All of those things that start happening. The next one is around the promise. So right from the start, we've cleared out our expectations around how we're going to work with them. Now we're going to do the promise to each other. And this is the client relationship template. So I'm actually going to give you this as a free download, is the our client relationship template, and also the onboarding document. So they're both in that link. That thank you, Diane. Diane's just popped that in the chat for you to be able to download. So this is a template that's going to start talking about our promise to you. We are going to provide you with the service that you require. We're going to do it in a timely manner. We're going to be asking questions when we need to. We're going to be following up with you. And it also has a promise from them that they are going to provide us information when we need it, where they're going to, what do they need to do for tax, for compliance as well, all of those things. And it's best to read this document out loud to them. Go through it. These are the things we're going to do. Read them all out and then go through all of the promises that they are going to make. Read them out. Do you understand it? And then get them to sign it. So it's, I think you've got that. That's yep, I just jumped on there. Sorry, I just clicked on that link twice. So, yeah, so grab that document. Feel free to grab that and use that document. That will be useful when you are bringing those clients on and making sure that we start a good relationship right from the start. Now, one of the other things that I did want to talk about is about the bookkeepers actually have a lot of gold in their heads. Now, this is, I guess, a theory of that, where we do our bookkeeping, we know how to do reconciliations, we know how to do, reviews and things like that. But there's so much more that we actually bring to our service or our serviceability. And a lot of bookkeepers don't actually bring out of all their cards. They usually, just doing the compliance and things like that. So it's a good idea to actually don't keep that special service in the tank. Don't leave that money on the table. Provide your clients with whatever service that they require, making sure that you're scoping it and so on. But we don't necessarily need to stick with the compliance and on the day-to-day level. We know that we can offer so much more. So by doing the diagnostic review, and I showed that the example to you earlier, by doing that diagnostic review, it will certainly come up with scoping your client, but it'll also find some other holes or some other areas where you could provide service. So we want to be able to have conversations with our clients to make sure that they know that we are here for them and that we can extend the value that we are providing to them. So it's things like, what do they expect from us? What is their business model? How do they make a profit? What are their KPIs? A lot of times clients actually won't have heard these questions before. They won't realize that, a bookkeeper is going to be able to add that value. They're either looking towards their accountant for that if they get to talk to their accountant once a year. But often the bookkeepers know their clients so intimately, so it's very much easier for a bookkeeper to provide these type of business services. So if you're unsure of additional services, what to provide, then I do actually have an advisory course that can actually help bring that bring that into your world, if you like, in learning these questions and those type of things. So we're looking at really reviewing the client and the business and looking at what other services you can provide them, and then talking to them about, out of those services, what would be the most useful to you. So really understanding the difference between the compliance that we do, but also bringing more value to the client as well. And I think this is also the stage where we do need to learn more. We need to upskill ourselves as well to be able to provide that information. I'm just curious of what other services that the bookkeepers on the call today, what are they actually providing to their clients other than just compliance work? Do you think about the other services that you can provide? There's the CFOs, there's all sorts of advisory work that you can do. Do profit first consulting, perfect. And that's a whole new advisory service right there in providing that profit first, which is awesome. We've got a lot of our pure bookkeeping licensees that actually are also profit first advisors. Anyone else like to share what they do with their clients outside of compliance? Yep, a virtual CFO, Fabian. And as I said before, a lot of bookkeepers do actually think the advisory that they do is just classed as bookkeeping, because it's pretty common for us just to help out our bookkeepers, our clients, as much as we can. So it's not uncommon to just throw it all in the same bucket and charge the same. So it's really, as this slide says, getting that gold out of your head and packaging it up in a way that is provided as additional value, building that relationship and building that trust. Awesome. Now, the next one is around creating raving fans in 30 days. So this is a process where we can actually, now that we've made sure that we've put the right clients on board, being ideal clients, setting up the expectations and all those things that we've spoken about before. Now we can actually make sure that we succeed in keeping these clients. So there is part of the pre-sales process that is, yes, that's important. We're setting the stage for the onboarding. I'm just going to open up. There's a couple of really cool resources inside of Pure Bookkeeping around this that I'm just going to showcase. Let me just pop these both up here. So around the onboarding. So yes, the whole process of onboarding, we know that they've got to sign documents and we want to automate payments and invoices. So what we're wanting to do is paint a picture of how streamlined our systems are and how easy their journey is. And if they're not prepared to do what's needed for that streamlined onboarding, then maybe they're not a good fit for us. I know I had one client that refused to sign a direct debit process because they didn't know if they'd have money in the bank or not. Well, that was part of my criteria for becoming a client, was to sign a direct debit. It was a non-negotiable for me, so I ended up not engaging them and probably avoided a whole lot of problems because of the non-payments and struggling to get the invoices out and to get paid. It was just part of my plan of not working with clients that didn't fit my process. So it's really important into going through all of these things. We've got some more around setting expectations during the onboarding. And then also, while we're onboarding, we want to actually, you know, make sure that we're wowing them with the service that we're providing, and, you know, looking at how we can actually add more services or more value to them. It's also, during this process, it's also, you know, one way of asking for more referrals while we were going through this journey as well. And, you know, there is opportunities to cross-sell if that's something within your, you know, ability. With the onboarding, we're going to talk some more around, you know, the brochures and email campaigns that you can bring in. And we're going to have your onboarding meetings. So they're going to be regular check-ins or progress emails to keep them informed about what's working and what's going to be moving forward, to make sure we get the work in, to keep them educated, to make sure they're connected with our business. The onboarding brochure or email campaign, it could be a set of emails as well to help them to get set up and running quite quickly. It could be adding value in providing them with some extra checklists and you know, things that they could possibly claim, things that they could be looking at, information. In those emails that you might also want to remind them of the problems that you are solving. So it's just a reminder that that we're helping them. We're going to continue to help them. You know, we're finding solutions. We're finding systems that are going to make them stickier, if you like. Get them excited about working with you, getting them to understand how simple and streamlined the process is. So it just makes them filled with joy when they get another email from you, rather than, you know, some emails that are going, I need this and I need that. So it's giving back. When you've done that diagnostic review, it's, you know, showing them the understanding of the business. It's providing them with a status of where we're up to, identifying any personal issues at all, giving them detailed reports about, you know, what you're finding in their figures, those type of things. In providing them, you know, you know, it might be once a week that you provide them with an email with just another little tidbit, another little connection to your business. You could be, you know, introducing your staff to them. So part of the, you know, the post onboarding, it is, you know, congratulating them to being part of your business. As I said, introducing them to staff, introducing them to other aspects of your business. So what I would like to do is offer you the mind map. So there's a nurture series mind map and a training video on how to create this email series. So as we come closer to the end, I'm actually going to find out a little bit more about your experience from what you've learned today. Let me just jump in and allow Diane to pop up the link as well as a thank you for listening in today. So the mind map and the video will be helping you design your own email series as well. So that's for if you when you book a call in to us, we'll be able to provide the mind map to you and the nurture series video. So I just want to go back to a couple of questions before, because I'd love to hear some key takeaways of what you've got from the webinar today and the information, and give you an opportunity to ask any questions as well. So Leanne was using Go Cardless with all new clients and a lot of monthly installments. and never had any pushback. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's great. And the same, Stephen. Yes, a terminated client after our direct debits of our fees bounced 3 times. Yeah. And it's important to, be mindful of what's going on with those clients. We're just bringing it back to being an ideal client. If they're not, well, then you might replace them with others. And Diane, I might just jump on and pop that link in there, if that's okay with you. So let me just pull up the link for the resources. And I'll just pop it in there. Okay. Awesome. And it's also coming out in the recording as well. So if you jump onto that link and book a time to chat with the team, they'll provide you with the mind map nurture series and the training video on how to, create that mind map. And also have an opportunity to have a bit of a chat about your business and the journey of your business and how you can possibly use that nurture series with your existing clients and have a chat about, the clients that you've got and moving them on to better clients. And the link doesn't work.
Yes, I've just clicked it. It works for me, but not for everyone else in here. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, okay.
We might have to we might just have to check into that and send it out afterwards. Might be the best way for that one. If Clayton's got another link there, he's asking if that's the same one. It's a short,
not actually
slightly
the
different.
Yeah, it's the same link. Let me just see if I'll just jump in to provide it. That's technology for you.
Yeah, we were just talking about this happen.
And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't work, then we'll just use the other one.
But I just encourage everyone listening to, we've got a couple of minutes left, so use this time. If you do have any questions at all for Katrina, please feel free to send them through, or comments about, your takeaways. We do love to hear how you found it. Leanne says it's a good reminder to remember about long-standing clients who behave well. Remember to touch base regularly. Often that's actually where, just to jump in here, Katrina, while you're looking into the meetings, but often that's actually where a lot of people start with marketing with us, and where we recommend starting. We've spoken through this 5-step leads to loyalty framework today, but to be honest, you can get a lot of your quick wins with the last stage, your existing clients. They're a gold mine for referrals, as a lot of you know firsthand, often how you're growing your business, and so much more than just that, with case studies and things like that can help you grow your firm immensely as well. So we always recommend starting with clients and seeing what else you can do there. So I'm glad to hear that Leanne's had such a good takeaway there as well. Clayton's asking if you could mention a little bit more about pure bookkeeping, Katrina.
Yeah, certainly. And I've just put a third link. We'll go with the last link that works. Not sure why the other one didn't turn itself on. So yeah, thanks Clayton for asking around pure bookkeeping. So pure bookkeeping, as CEO, and I also became a licensee of pure bookkeeping in 2011 when I was building my business. So it is essentially systems for great bookkeepers to build their businesses. So the systems around bookkeeping, so around the manuals around the software, systems around marketing, and systems around HR, so recruitment and skills testing as well, as you can see down here. We've got the full onboarding and marketing programs in here. One of the awesome things is that we've just launched, and I'll just bring it up, Pure Workflow. So Pure Workflow is a workflow management solution which actually links straight into the Pure Bookkeeping system. So this is just like any other workflow management solution like Carbon, Asana, ClickUp. we have all of our jobs in here, but the beauty of the Pure workflow is that it's already been set up with our Pure bookkeeping templates in there. So as you go into a job and all of these tasks down here, each one of these hyperlinks will take you into the manual inside of the website that I was showing you before. So it allows you to either do the work yourself. If you're unsure what to do, it goes into a manual to discuss how to do it. If you have staff on, then those staff that are not sure on what to do, click onto the link and go into the manual and find out what to do. So when we talk about systems for bookkeepers, it is the checklist templates, and it's also the instructions that back up those systems and those checklists. And then, of course, a whole lot more in relation to the systems around the marketing and training your staff as well. So it's designed for not only the sole entrepreneur to get their systems in place, but also those that are scaling up and wanting to put staff on. So it's a good mix for both businesses. Clayton, did you have any other questions around that? Feel free to post any other questions that I could help you with.
I hear great things about Pure Bookkeeping, so from our mutual clients. But if anyone's here is using Pure Bookkeeping, I'm sure you can chime in here as well. Clayton's going to book in, so fantastic. Leanne has to go, but found it informative. So thanks a lot, Leanne, for joining us today. Stephen shared his takeaway as well, is about charging for a health check, leading to scoping the work a bit better. So I think that's a really useful first step as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's so important, and because then if you're charging for it, we're actually going to go a little bit deeper, but it's for the benefit of the client. And as I said, they might not want you to fix everything, but now they have a good understanding of what's inside their figures and what's wrong and what could be worked on.
I feel that paid things sometimes make people value it more too, right? Like a free thing. I mean, we give away lots of stuff for free that we believe is valuable, but still sometimes you're like, we put a lot of work into this, and something paid can, I mean, obviously just sell it. Yeah. The value conversation and all that too. So I think it's worthwhile to charge for your work there.
Yeah, and especially if you've got, that the templates already there that can be scaled to all your clients, and then it provides a report. You don't have to, reinvent the wheel with it. We know what we're looking at when we get inside a file and what's right and what's wrong, but just to provide clients with that information in a really formalized, structured way as well is awesome.
So is that is there software and things you recommend for doing the health check, or is that in here in Pure Bookkeeping, or I guess providing that report and results on it?
Yeah, providing that. Our licensees do use a mixture of other softwares to help with doing health checks as well. So there's the other softwares like Dext, Precision, and Expert are really good in doing health checks in that as well. And I guess the diagnostic review, starts to scope it out, starts to ask the questions, and provides the report once we get the results on it as well. Yeah. Now John's asked or mentioned that he uses MYOB. So we actually started Pure Bookkeeping with MYOB. We just haven't migrated it over to this. This is our very new platform that's been launched in the past few months. So MYOB is coming across into here as well. So you can see we have an MYOB skills test, but the actual manual will be over here very shortly. It's interesting. We've got a lot of, quite a lot of push for Xero. A lot of our licensees are using Xero. So that was one of our first ones that went across there, Xero and QBO, but MYOB is needing to be rewritten for the new platform as well. The new business platform. So that's coming along.
Awesome. Okay, well, I think we'll have to wrap it up there, but thank you very much, Katrina, for your time. And thanks again, everyone, for joining us at the summit today. We've had awesome 5 sessions. And as I've said a couple of times, we'll send all these resources out if you missed anything, and make sure to send a link to book a call if you'd like to chat with Katrina more. But thank you, Katrina.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for listening, everyone.
No worries. See you all later. Have a good evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. We thank you for your time. See you later.
Thanks. Bye.